A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark ruling that is set to reverberate across the United Kingdom, the Supreme Court has determined that the legal definition of a woman is strictly tied to biological sex. This decision comes as part of an ongoing legal battle between a women's rights advocacy group, For Women Scotland, FWS, and the Scottish Government regarding the inclusion of transgender women in the definition of woman. Under equality legislation, the court's unanimous decision, announced on Wednesday, stated that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act refer specifically to biological females. Justice Patrick Hodge, who presided over the case, emphasized that this ruling has significant implications for the representation of women in public life, particularly in light of a 2018 law passed by the Scottish Parliament aimed at ensuring 50% female representation on the boards of Scottish public bodies. This law had included transgender women in its definition of women, a move that FWS argued overstepped parliamentary powers. The ruling effectively means that transgender individuals who hold a gender recognition certificate will not be recognized as women for the purposes of equality legislation, a decision that has ignited fierce debate across the nation. Supporters of the ruling, including FWS, argue that redefining woman undermines the rights of biological females and could lead to a situation where public boards could meet gender representation targets without actually including biological women. FWS's director, Trina Budge, articulated the group's concerns, stating that the current interpretation of gender could allow for a board composed of 50% biological men and 50% transgender women to fulfill gender quotas while failing to represent women as a distinct category. The legal challenge was initially dismissed by a lower court in 2022. However, FWS was granted the opportunity to appeal to the Supreme Court, where they argued that the definition of sex should align with its common understanding in everyday language. Aidan O'Neill, representing FWS, asserted that one's biological sex is determined at conception and is an immutable aspect of identity. The ruling has drawn support from notable figures, including author J.K. Rowling, who has been a vocal advocate for women's rights and has contributed financially to FWS's efforts. Opponents of the ruling, including human rights organization Amnesty International, have expressed grave concerns regarding the implications for transgender rights. Amnesty has argued that excluding transgender individuals from protections against sex discrimination poses a significant threat to their rights and well-being. In a statement, they highlighted that a blanket policy that bars transgender women from accessing single-sex services is not a proportionate response to legitimate concerns about women's safety and rights. The Supreme Court's ruling, while clarifying the legal definition of a woman, also acknowledged that it does not strip away protections for transgender individuals, who remain safeguarded against discrimination based on gender reassignment. The ongoing debate surrounding this ruling reflects a broader societal struggle to balance the rights and identities of various groups while ensuring that the fundamental rights of women are not compromised. As the conversation continues, both supporters and opponents of the ruling are mobilizing to advocate for their respective positions, indicating that this issue will likely remain at the forefront of public discourse in the UK for the foreseeable future. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.